I don't have any of the minutes here.
Sorry.
Call to order. Roll call, please. We're just going to go quick over this.
Margie Ferris, here. Carla. is
Absent,
present.
excused,
Joe Bosey,
on his way.
on his way. Sherry. Here. Brian, Monica.
Here.
And Brian, okay.
Here. Okay, so we have an agenda. We have, we did all the preface on the last meeting. We have no new business. We're here on the case for ZBA 2025-013, the applicant at 1870 South Channel. We have gone through everything. I postponed the meeting until I could talk to Christine, our lawyer, and ask her couple good questions. So her reply to me on how we handle this situation when we did have an error with a permit being issued and maybe a couple items missed. She said that no one should benefit from an error. So she said, go along with the meeting as if he's asking for a variance. He's asking for permission to do this without taking into consideration Gary's mistake right now. Unfortunately, it's not that easy in this case. There's a couple things that have come to light. So with that said, there's a couple things that I would like to clarify. So, because you guys are somewhat new, Gary, I'm going to put you on a hot spot on a couple questions. You can say, no, I don't want to answer, or I don't know. I'd rather you say I don't know than answer something. Can I ask you a couple questions of clarifications on a couple things before we get into the two variances tonight? We have two variants, a height variance, the 2.5 foot, and the sidewall variance, okay? The variance says he's only allowed to have 3 foot, and currently they have 6 foot, okay? So, Gary, these are somewhat questions that go into making a clear decision on, say, line of sight, okay? Just some basic questions. So we have a clear definition of house setbacks in our ordinance, correct?
Yes,
Changing road to road, property to property, you know what I mean? Road, some might have different setbacks than others, correct?
correct.
Do we have a clear definition of your view on waterfront property in our ordinance?
No,
So there's no straight out, there's no 45 degree.
correct.
If the neighbor Gary did not complain, what would have happened to how the construction was going right now?
How,
So I guess I'm saying, it would have been completed, it would have been approved, it would have been done deal, right? And until he complained, there was no other issues with it, correct?
well, that's when it was brought to my attention.
Correct. But if he didn't bring it to your attention, it would have been built and been done, correct?
It would have been caught when we did an inspection.
You're fine. Okay. Everybody makes mistakes,
Yes,
okay? And I'm thankful that you admitted it, right? And
Yes.
you would have caught it. I mean, there's no, we make mistakes all the time. It's human. I'm not saying anything, putting blame to you at all. But you're not the only person that has ever made a mistake, right? Is there any setbacks for a boathouse over the water?
there are different rules that apply on the water, for sure. But they're not in our ordinance,
But it's through Eagle.
correct?
So Eagle doesn't care what the sides are, correct?
Correct,
Eagle doesn't care how tall it is.
correct.
Eagle doesn't, as long as you're on the property, Eagle allows you to build according to what they are, correct?
Yeah,
So there's no side yard setback. There's no off the property line setback, correct?
For
As long as you're
Eagle.
not on that property, you're within reason, say, but there's
From
not.
an Eagle standpoint, correct.
Okay. If Brett would have came to you, the builder of this boathouse, would have came to you and said, I want to build this boathouse on the north side of this piece of property, where Gary, the neighbor's boathouse, is currently on Jeff's, right? Yes. Jeff's property. Right down the middle of his roof is on Jeff's property. What would you have done then? What could have been done?
One thing we would have looked to see, we would have checked our property lines, see where they were, and see if it would have met, our setbacks. And if there was, if it was different than what Eagle would have allowed, then perhaps they would then seek maybe something from Eagle that would allow for something different, because I know riparian rights are a little bit different, and I'll be the first to admit I don't know what they are.
All right. Is there any such thing as a grandfather clause? Or what is your definition of when someone says it's grandfathered in? And we always say, well, there's not a grandfather clause. Not saying in the past that some people have a full boathouse, and it was allowed in the past. Currently, it's not allowed. But in the past, if something were to go wrong, right, is there a grandfather clause? Well, it's gone wrong, I'm good to go. My grandpa did it, or my grandmother did it. Is there anything, do we
more look at
take
that as
consideration
nonconformity?
grandfather clause?
We look at nonconformity, perhaps not a grandfather clause, because there's no such thing. But if a building is nonconforming to today's ordinance, we're not going to make you tear it down or move it or do anything with it. But that nonconformity generally can be expanded upon.
Correct, and that's in our ordinance.
Yes.
Is there any circumstance or anything that you would see that we as a township would allow someone to build on someone else's property? A house, a shed, a garage, a deck, or a boathouse?
No,
Never.
never.
Okay. Is there a time limit for corrections for errors in the past?
Not that I'm aware of.
So if we had something in the past that was done wrong by, say, a previous building inspector or someone else, can it be corrected today?
I would say not.
Even if someone complained?
That goes into, if it went through the entire process and how long ago was it? If it was caught up during the process, I would say that corrections could be made, but if it was from the past, you got to let lying dogs lie.
Okay. All loaded questions, Gary, I understand that. And I wanted everyone to hear certain things. I kind of knew some of your answers, you know what I mean? But in the same token, I just wanted some clarification on a couple things. In this case, okay, we can go with, we have two variances. I think the height variance, everybody was okay with the 2.5. Most of the discussion was the 3-foot walls, correct?
Yes. 'cause-
Is there anyone that wants to talk about just the height variance right now? Any questions to Gary? Any questions to Brett? Any questions?
No.
No. So does anyone have a motion for or against that variance, 2.5 height, or the height variance? Right, we're 17.5, right? Is that what it is, over 15? As built, correct? Or as built, we'll say.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Can anyone make a motion for or against it? Because the next one's going to be, obviously, I think, longer than
Where's that?
this one.
Everything. Do you have it?
Motion?
No, I'm looking for the,
Oh.
is it still the?
Yeah.
GZBA?
That's our case, yep.
2025? Okay, so
I
I
can
have case
try, but
number,
I-
right?
Yep.
Okay.
I can try.
Okay, let's hear it.
I make a motion to approve JZBA 2025-012.
3.
No, 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good?
JZBA 2025-013 of 1870 South Channel Drive, the ordinance number 126, section 3.01.AD, that the boathouse can exceed 15 feet to be 17.5 as requested.
Okay. So we have a motion. Do we have a second to approve?
I'll second to approve that.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the height variance at 17.5 or whatever it is currently, but within inches. Well, we'll go roll call, please.
Okay, Margie Ferris, yes. Carla's not here, Joe is not here, Sherry,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Monica.
Yes.
Okay, so that
I
motion,
need to change that.
yep,
You
that
should
motion
have that.
passes. Yep. All right, so
I
now,
need to fill this out.
now let's talk about only the 3-foot sidewalls that are currently built at 6 foot, including covering the steel. Okay? So the sidewalls are at 6 foot and our ordinance says 3 foot.
3 feet.
We went round and round. We're not the builder, we're not the engineer, we can't come up with a solution that appeased all of us to fabricate something different on this. So, when I went out there 2 days ago and sat on the property line, okay, and this is a lot different when you go out there and look at what the complaint is. You know, what is he, Gary, the complaint, what is he complaining about, right? What is he seeing? So when I looked at the property line, I could barely see the boathouse that was
Yes.
built, okay? I can see clearly through the boathouse. I love the 10-foot walls. I know it's 8 foot or above in our ordinance. I love the height because you can see clearly through the whole thing and see all the water. And I believe when the roof and the siding is installed, it typically would blend in with the sky because you can see all the way through Canada and see the trees. You're missing the sky when I was there. But on the north side of the property, all I saw was half of Gary's boathouse. And it took away the vision of Jeff, which means Gary got more vision, right? If Gary's boathouse would have been on the other side of his dock, which it should have been, he would have blocked his own view, not someone else's view. But he's the one that's complaining about the view being blocked, right?
He's not the only one.
Okay? So then the other person that complained, right? So when you look down the side, right? Your view is straight, but when you look down the side, all I see is docks. I can't see through any of those docks, right? All I can see is out past the boathouse.
Amen.
Yep. So that's all you see is docks.
Do we remember where the other neighbor who complained where he lives?
But 15 feet down, right? Right? His taxes, his view is this.
Yeah.
It's not 15 houses down, I'm sure. You know what I mean? That's like saying Jeff doesn't want the neighbor that doesn't have any dock or boathouse
Yeah, that's all.
to never put something there because he has the full view. It's beautiful.
Right.
Gary gets to enjoy that view too because he's looking and doesn't see docks.
Right.
When I looked at all the other boathouses besides the one next to Gary, the person, well, I've got a lot of Garys here. Gary, the one that complained, the neighbor.
Right.
Hang on, Margie, this is
No,
what I
I
didn't.
was showing her the pictures.
Should have been out there to look at it. So the full boathouse that's next to Gary, right? Grandfathered in, it was done in the past, it hasn't fallen down yet, you know what I mean? It's still there. He is also blocked by the house that's on the water. But Gary bought that, right? He bought that view. He knows that there's a boathouse there, he knows that there was a house on the water. His view is this. When Jeff bought his view is this, but they're all crooked. But Brett straightened it out, he fixed it. He took, that's why the deck jogs, because at one time, that boathouse or dock, I'm not sure what was there previous, was off on the neighbor's property, and he fixed it, he corrected it. But he doesn't have Brett didn't have the capability of maybe going all the way to the north side, because he would have had to tell his neighbor to cut his boathouse off.
So,
And now he has no, we can't tell him to, hey, get rid of your boathouse, right? I just asked Gary that. We can't say, you know what, you're blocking his view, you're complaining, but the only view that you're blocking is the person that built a newer boathouse. There is no size to the boathouse. It can't be two boats, right? So it doesn't mean it can't be 100 feet long. Is there an ordinance on that? Okay, I'm exaggerating. I mean, this one is long, I get it. But there's no ordinance that says we can't have it for a longer boat. So what I'm saying is, when the neighbor looks down and he sees Noah's Ark, which I totally agree, it looked like Noah's Ark according to this picture. But when it's finished, it's gonna blend in and it's gonna be finished. It's not gonna see raw wood. And he'll still be able to see through the boathouse. But not 15 houses down, he can't even see the view through the boathouse, because all the docks block the view. Correct, Margie? Did you see that? Or no?
it looked to me.
When you look-
It looked to me
and-
like the boathouse was taller than all the docks. and blocking
It is,
the dock.
100%. But when you look 15 houses away, when you look to the side, what do you see?
I see a lot of docks and then 2 boathouses.
But all the other
Actually,
there's other boathouses out there, right? You know, there, obviously the one with the full, which I'm sure is not blocking much of anyone's side view, which, again, we don't have an ordinance that says you can't block someone's view. All my questions were, Gary, were loaded questions for this. All the other boathouses that are there, that are built on that area, which aren't a whole lot of covered boathouses, there are some, all the Ys, all the cross members per post, right, were all sighted down lower than the 3 foot. I didn't go over measure, I'm not, but whatever their side was, if it was 2 foot or 3 foot, all the cross members were sighted down too. And there was over 2 of them that I saw within sight of this boathouse. I'm not going down the street where there's new boathouses, or I'm not talking about Colony, which is overland boathouses. It's totally different circumstance. I'm just talking immediate, when I sat on the property line, besides the gazebo that I wanted to rip down that you guys have, I didn't see anything that Gary would complain about. Besides, he doesn't like how it looks currently.
So when the attorney said to look at this
Mhm.
as if it's not built, and they're coming to us for a variance to be built.
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
But then when you hear a 10-minute presentation from the neighbor, and he points out certain things, and he belittles people and says that Brett built a platform behind his boathouse, how neighborly was that? I take that as like, whoa, Brett, what are you doing? Brett the builder, right? So when you go out there and look at it and go, hang on a second, it's 100% on Brett's client's property line. He's 100% legal to have a platform. Gary's boat, unfortunately, is on Jeff's property. So when he has to back out, he's gonna have to be careful because he's on someone else's property. Our Gary, building inspector Gary, said there's no circumstances that we would ever allow this. how can one person complain because he can't see through the boathouse, but then have exactly what he's complaining about? How is that fair? So that's how I look at it. I look at it, all the other things. So I don't appreciate when a neighbor comes in that has what another neighbor wants, but complains because they don't want him to have it. That's not fair. Was a mistake made? Yep, it was made. But unfortunately, when all the stuff comes out, I would still look at this going, I see nothing wrong with this right now. I would possibly complain if it was full walls, but I sure wish that we would allow full walls. But again, we don't. We offer 3 foot. The height, I'd like to see through the boathouse.
And it is, I like how tall it is too, right, like I said.
I mean-
So my question is, if you okay this one,
Mhm.
the next boat, the house that comes along, they're gonna say, they got it. And,
Well,
but
no,
I
but
understand
that's
it's taller.
But that's not, but this is, here's the other circumstances. He'll have the opportunity when Gary catches it and say, well, no, you're gonna have to shrink those walls. It doesn't mean because we allowed this, that the next person is gonna be allowed to do it.
But that's probably what's gonna happen.
Well, they're gonna.
Because-
That's what everyone says. It doesn't happen
Well,
like that,
it's just
though.
like-
I've been here long enough that it doesn't happen. It's like the same thing with fences. Everyone, oh, we're gonna allow fences. Everyone's gonna come in and want a fence. It doesn't happen. It's the same thing with boathouses. Everyone's gonna want a boathouse. Well, guess what? We allow boathouses. We do allow it. Does it mean that 3 feet is exactly what we need? If we're taking away only the client's view, in the past, we had views at 45-degree angles. We, respect the neighbor's view. I get it. But right now, we don't. We don't have a clear view. Look it straight out. Whose view are we blocking? Just the homeowners. Maybe the ordinance should be changed. I'm not saying to do it. It's very hard to change the ordinance. But in the same token, we don't drive 17-foot crisscross anymore. We don't have those boats. And if we do, they are stored in a covered, I guarantee you, they're stored in a covered boathouse somewhere. We don't drive smaller little fishing boats all the time. Yes, we have fishing boats, and maybe that is your only boat. But now we have pontoons that have canvases. Now we have bigger boats. It doesn't matter how big of a boat. It doesn't matter how many engines you have. It's just a covered boat well. So I guess each circumstance would be considered.
Right. I'm just considering just like, what road is that? Not St. John's Drive,
Oh, South Channel Drive?
No.
Marsh?
On the bay, or, by the marsh.
Middle
St.
channel?
John's?
No, the one
Anchor Bay
that,
Drive?
the one that always,
Colony.
it's considered different.
Compared to the rest?
Yeah.
Well, Colony's different.
But that's-
Now, here's the different with Colony, okay? And trust me, thinking of different ways, because I remember saying last meeting, how can we allow Colony, I think it was to Carla, how can we allow Colony to just do it, but then we can't allow this, right? Well, Colony's a smidgen different, because most of it is overland. It's not on the channel side, correct? So there's the major difference between the two pieces of property. A lot of people do not want to see boathouses or covered stuff. That's why we want it to be open on the channel views, on the long docks. I grew up at my mom's on Point Trumbull. We had boathouses the whole time. Everyone almost had a boathouse. But as they fell over, they weren't allowed to build them back up. But you're allowed to maintain them. Okay? You're allowed to fix them. You're allowed to do certain repairs to them. But I want to make sure that if it's on someone else's property, it can never be maintained. It can never be fixed. When that goes down, it has to go back on your property. If nothing happens, right, that's not non-conforming.
It's a non-conformity, but I mean, you can put a new roof on it. You can re-shingle it. You can re-side it. You can do those types of maintenance things to it. And that's within the ordinance, that's allowed. You can't.
Even if it's on someone else's property?
You're allowed to maintain
Well,
it.
it's a non-conformity, and that's the way it's looked as, is a non-conformity. So,
Well, I guess this circumstance, if we didn't have Gary speaking and complaining, maybe some of this stuff wouldn't have come out of my mouth, you know what I mean? Maybe I would have looked at this boathouse a smidgen different. But right now, after looking at it, I don't see any problems with this boathouse, especially if it was finished and all the colors were on it. I think it would blend in with the sky. I really liked looking through it. At this point, obviously, if the boat was in there, you're not going to see anything, I get it. But in the same token, Gary, the neighbor's boathouse, which is too short to our ordinances, if he puts a boat in it, but you can't see through his right now at all. You can't see the channel, all I see is roof. If you're just standing there looking at the property line, all I see is roof. It totally blocks the channel view of boats going by. And I'm not just picking on Gary, I'm picking on everyone that complained. I wanted to look, like, well, I looked 15 houses down, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see through it. You take a picture and all you see is pilings and docks, that's all you see. There's no view of the water at all, it turns brown, both directions, except directly next to Gary, they have a wide open area, which is kind of nice. Same thing when my mom's boathouse went down, all the neighbors got to see through that. We had a nice view our whole life out it. I'm just saying, I'm not opposed to blocking your own view. But I guess I'm opposed a neighbor complaining of blocking his view when it's not his view.
So you're thinking maybe we should change the ordinance then?
I'd love to change the ordinance.
Well, I'm kind of looking.
I'd love to change the height ordinance of a lot of different things, and I'm trying to change the ordinance with accessory buildings.
Okay.
See, I'm seeing it, well, I guess I see it a little different, because when I was there, the actual property is on an angle.
No, it's not.
It sure looked like it to me.
Perfectly straight out. If you were to say, if you looked at the
No,
pins, the survey pins.
I'm not talking about, I'm talking about if you look at all the docks on there, they're all on that angle because the property of the water, at water's edge is on that angle. Not the actual property, I guess you'd call it, but the water's edge is all on that angle, so all the docks were going on that angle. And then his is the only one that goes out and then goes.
If you sat on the property stake and looked back towards the house, it's a well-definition white stake that's there. If you stand on that white stake and put your nose looking at the survey stake, Gary's boathouse is half on Jeff's property. It was built on an angle this way, but that doesn't mean it's not on the property. Our survey stakes don't lie. Jeff's property is straight.
Are all the other docks going on that angle though? Or are they going straight?
I didn't walk on the neighbor's property. I was only looking
No, I'm
at
just
Jeff's property.
saying, I mean, that's Gary's dock. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but Gary's dock is on that angle, but all the other ones are as well, from what I've seen.
But it doesn't make it
But-
right if it goes over someone else's property.
No, not if it's going over top of the property. I'm just saying that's why it's on that angle probably is because the rest of them are. But at the same point, I guess it's, because we had two complainants. And I'm not just looking at what Gary was saying, I'm looking at what the other gentleman was saying as well, but
The
I
other
don't
gentleman
know.
was, what, 15 houses down? He's a.
I don't
Brett,
even know.
You built the boathouse. How far down was he?
Yeah, 12, 15 houses up straight.
So what view is he getting blocked?
Yeah.
Well, he's on the other side of the street.
But what view is this boathouse blocking of
Ships
his?
coming down, I don't know.
I walked on the property.
I get it, you guys, but Gary, what is our definition of our view? Straight out.
Yeah.
So how can someone, that's like me saying I live 2 miles over here and I don't want Carla that just bought a house over here because she wants to build a dock by the roadhouse. Carla, you can't because you are going to block my view of the river. And I'm 2 miles away. Where does it stop? Your view is this, and this is my point. We got to stop worrying about what our neighbors are doing on other people's property. If Jeff was doing something 100% and Brett wanted to put it on an angle because everyone else did, and then go on to the neighbor's property that has no dock, no nothing, and block his view, that wouldn't be right. I would never want that. I would never want Brett to build a boathouse purposely to block someone else's view,
Well, no,
ever.
no.
The client, you know, he knows his view's gonna be blocked. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just upset that we don't have, you know, we send out a blank, hey, we got a ZBA, and then we have a neighbor 15 houses down that we're worried about his view being blocked, when he can't even see the boathouse. In a picture, he can see it. Yes, it stands above the docks, but he doesn't see the water. I guarantee you, he doesn't see much of the water as he's looking through. Bits and speckles when you look at a sideways view down any of it. I grew up on the water. I know you don't see that way. You don't see that way. You only see straight ahead, and maybe in between a boathouse, a dock. Even the covered boathouses that were built by my mom's, you can see right through them. They're nice.
So you
Not
don't like-
opposed to 'em.
You don't like straight line setbacks either?
Straight line setback is not the same thing.
That's-
Straight line setback is from this house to this house. It's a straight line. It doesn't mean straight this way, your view. That's exactly what that is.
No, straight line setback is the view
No,
of someone
not
from
at
the
all,
side.
Not at all. Straight line setbacks is, this is your house here, and say this is the water. And then this is the vacant
So you
lot.
can't build the
No,
house
watch,
here.
watch. And then this house is over here, right? And this is, just say this is the water. Straight line setback is saying from this point to this point. You cannot exceed that.
Why is that?
That's a straight line setback.
Why is that? Why is it?
Because they don't want you to build in front of the
There you
house.
go, why?
And that's exactly why I said, do we have setbacks for boathouses?
Right.
Remember I asked, do we have setbacks set in stone for houses? What did Gary say? Yes, right? We have 100% setback per road. If it's 25 feet, if it's 3 feet over here, if it's 10 feet over here, right? We have that. The boathouses, we don't have that.
Well, it's just
It's
needs.
still the aesthetic view is what we're getting at.
Right.
It's, I don't know.
If you want a view through your neighbors, then buy the neighbors.
Because to me.
You don't pay taxes
to
on your
me-
neighbor.
To me, as I've been growing up, your line of sight is anything you can see when you're looking forward, and that is also your peripheral.
Perfect.
So if you're looking peripheral and you're seeing a boathouse that's huge, is that
Well, so-
directly in front of you, or is it not?
So what's huge? What's the definition of huge?
Twice the size of all the other ones.
But also,
He's allowed to build it
Correct. But the
long. Correct the sides,
down, yeah.
100%. That's why we're here.
but I think next to the gazebo, I don't know whose that was, to that left, there's a house right there too that is pretty close, or damn near on the water, wasn't that?
It was.
So that's also part of your view, your
Correct.
peripherals.
And they also have a full-sided boathouse.
Yeah.
But that's what you bought. I mean, it's a 100% full-sided boathouse. It's closer to the seawall.
Yeah, it's not as far out.
It's not as far out.
You talking about the blue one?
I thought it was
I
great.
thought it was white.
Okay, I must be thinking down further.
Well, it's the same color as the house. So,
Do you want some?
Mr. Chairman, since we're the petitioner, I think I have the right to an opportunity to address some of these questions, and I'd like to do that.
Gary, did you put it in here?
No, it's a supplement to that, what I'm going to say, but it's also an answer to the one lady's question about the setup of the docks. So should I come to the podium?
Yes.
So
Listen.
the first of all is in the construction phase, prior to the construction phase, and at Eagle and the Corps, we gave them a brand-new, relatively new survey that showed that his existing dock encroached on the property if you extended the line straight out from the neighbor to the right.
Jeff Stock.
Jeff.
Yeah, okay.
So we gave you this document,
Right.
that showed where it was and how it was corrected. And it also showed how Gary, to the left, encroaches on Jeff's property. Now, a few years back in Ivor Township on Lake St. Clair, Anchor Bay, I had a client where the neighbor next door to the right was going to build a new dock and boat hoist. And he hired me to take a look at it when it was at Eagle. And Eagle had given some preliminary review, and I went out there with a laser line and showed the neighbor that if he built it the way he proposed, he would encroach over to my guy's property, which hindered my guy to get his boat out of his then existing boathouse. I left my stakes in the ground on my client's property line. When the marine contractor came and looked at it, he said, "Who put the stakes here?" And he said, "My attorney, Gary Gananock." And he said, "Mr. Gananock is correct. It's the wrong angle, and I'm not going to build it that way because Eagle will make me take it out." And they moved it over as I suggested. A few years ago in your community, I represented Don Carnegie. He had an existing full-side covered boathouse on the North Channel on Harson's Island, just down from the ferry. He got permit from Eagle, the Corps, Clay Township to rebuild it. He hired a marine contractor, that person entity rebuilt it with sides. It was about 90% completed, and a lady 4 or 5 houses down complained. And I'm not sure if Mr. Beal was the building inspector then or not. But we came to the ZBA and showed that this is how it was, and this is how it was rebuilt. It was consistent, and they let us complete the project. And then my client did take some...
That's a white one, right?
Correct. So these are some more recent pictures. So this one shows with my client's boat not in the boathouse anymore. You can see straight through to Canada.
Oh, I know what that's at.
Yeah.
I understand.
And then this is a close-up of the 2 adjacent boat facilities. One with Gary's, his boat still in, one my client Jeff's. This is a similar view but farther back, but these pictures were taken from in front of Gary's property to show his view. His own view to the left is blocked by that existing boathouse. That's probably been there a decade or two. So I think the record clearly establishes that my client has the right to complete the structure as issued in the permit. And in the supplement that I filed by e-filing a few days ago, showed several appellate court decisions that said if you got a building permit and you substantially built your facility, you were entitled to complete it. That's from Michigan Court of Appeals, the Michigan Supreme Court, and the Sixth Circuit Federal Court, which has jurisdiction over the state of Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. So I think the record clearly demonstrates that my client has the right to finish his building, put the siding on, and 5 or 6 months of the year, you're going to see through the boathouse because there's no boat there. Because he's always going to keep that boat at some marina facility, and you can keep those pictures for the record, because I have said.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and by the way, just a historical tidbit. On the thing in Anchorville, the marine contractor was Brett's dad.
Thank you, so that's what I need to.
That's what he was saying, so.
For the statute. So how do I do it?
When you say statute.
Like case law.
Yeah, but I don't know the case law. Do you?
He gave it to us.
There you go. Yeah. I mean,
He stated
he's not the only, you know.
I'm sure there's probably other case law that says they had to take it down,
I
but who knows? I'm just saying that's what was brought before us today, based on the findings of facts.
Well, that was my question, that if we did not approve this today, and he did appeal it to St. Clair County, whoever else, and they overturned us, then what? But I know that's a can of worms. But that's where I was like, he has the statutory, he has precedence that says the permit's issued. He has to finish it.
Well, don't believe that if we
Yeah.
deny this, that they're not going to go
Right.
after the
Right.
township.
Right, or appeal it or do whatever.
So,
And not basing any kind of.
100%.
On that.
Yeah, no, it's not like coming out of my,
But with how the case, I don't even want to say case because I don't want to be a judge,
yeah.
how this is presented to us, even with the mistake, I don't see an issue with this circumstance.
And I don't either, if it was a brand new, I mean, I'm not gonna penalize the guy for having a big boat. I'm assuming this is what needs, they said, to protect the boat. His right to have a big boat and,
Yeah, no, if this was to come before me.
So now this is why it's so important
But
when we
it's
go
our-
out there
but
and
that's not the
look.
case here. Oh, I did go out.
No,
And then
but
they took
but
out
to look at
pictures.
the whole circumstance.
Right.
And that's why I asked Gary, what would happen if Gary, the neighbor, didn't complain? The structure would be built, it would be all good to go, until he went to his final inspection, right?
Right.
But then we'd still be in the same
And
thing,
that'd
it'd be
the same thing.
completed.
Right,
It would be completed at the time.
at that time. It would have been completed.
100%, yeah, versus.
But then it would still be the same boat. You'd still have to go through the same channels.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much 98% complete now.
Yeah, it
Pretty
just
much.
looks-
Well, I mean-
The siding needs to go.
Looks
on it.
unfinished, but,
I think if it was roofed and sided, it would disappear.
yeah.
If you look at this picture with gray siding, I think it's a gray and white. I don't, you know what I mean? When I looked at it, it was blue skies. Unfortunately, I was, trying to look on the property line to see. I didn't go on to Gary's property to see what the view was blocked. Especially after one neighbor yelled at us for, maybe stepping foot on it.
But even like this picture, there's, if you want to claim the peripherals, there's still plenty
Well, true.
beyond the straight side. So he might miss a second of who knows what.
But if you would have put this boathouse over here, he would have a view between the two.
Right.
And it might differ too. I guess that's just, we're going off of a complaint that,
I'm not going off any
He's-
complaints, actually. I'm more or less.
I'm
looking
after
at
what
it.
he said, a lot of it.
Right. Oh, yeah, he was.
Well, I don't mean, you know what I mean? I get it, he's upset, but in the same token, I looked at everything. I thought Brett did everything he was supposed to do correctly.
Right.
He built the house, or built the building per print, which I've asked him 100 different ways, and it hasn't changed. And when it zigzags, he just moved it over the right way to put it on the piece of
And Brett's
property.
the builder?
Brett is the builder. And I asked him last time,
And he builds a lot of these boathouses. So he knows that they're
There's
not supposed to be
3
6-foot
big
sidewalls, right?
seawall companies in Clay Township.
Right,
And
I
he
know.
is one of them,
So
maybe
I
4.
just want to make sure that he knows these ordinances, right? He knows what Clay Township requires, as far as height and size of the boathouse. He's done many, right?
He's done covered boathouses, yeah.
Okay. So he knows what's approved and what's not.
Not necessarily. I don't know all the building stuff. When I pull permit, I don't know it all.
That's a pretty common one. That's how all the boathouses are done. The sidewalls and, okay, just making sure.
I bet they're not. I bet there's 100 out there that have not
There's a
been
lot of
caught.
people living above the garage too, and I'm not here to police them afterward, but
Correct.
I'm just saying that
Correct.
when you're in the beginning stages of building something, and you understand what the ordinances are, and you build many of them, you would know.
Not to submit a,
Well, you would maybe submit it, but might want to.
But if you get the permit, you have the right to build it pursuant to the permit.
I
And I
understand.
gave you case law to that effect.
Right,
we understand that.
yeah. I just want to make sure, Brett, when you build another one, you'll ask Gary. Do you really want me to build this?
In the last 3 years, I built 2 other roofs very similar. While everything was permitted, those have 4-foot E-walls on them.
Okay,
I built 4 or 5 different ones that have 4-foot E-walls on them.
without a variance?
Without a variance, I got my Eagle permit, my Army Corps permit, and my building permit, just like in this instance.
And not possibly just with Gary, is what I'm saying.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's why
Right.
I brought into, hey, other building inspectors might have had other mistakes as well. All right, so what do you have? You go for it? No? Sherry?
How I feel.
I'm not saying a word yet.
I can.
Okay, well, how about this? You don't have to make a motion, but you do have to say
Maybe not need to vote for it.
whether or not you're going to vote that you accept the way this boathouse is built, or are we going to tell them to tear the roof off and put 3-foot sidewalls on? That's the only reason we're here right now.
Right.
Out of everything that was mentioned, the previous meeting, the questions I asked Gary,
Well, to me, it's not, to me, it's just not cut and dry yet.
okay, so what is not cut and dry to you? What answer or what question has not been answered?
I just don't understand, like, we were told to make sure that we treated this as it was a very beginning in front of us type thing. And to me, I would have denied it because of.
For what? For what reason would you deny it?
Because there's a
6
reason
foot.
that we have our rules
Do you know the reason?
for all the aesthetic views and,
To be conforming, right?
yeah, to be conforming.
Do you know when this ordinance was adopted?
What, the 3-foot walls?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
Do you believe that the ordinance could change?
I believe if everybody's gonna start making them 6 feet, we need to change it. I do know that.
Okay.
I'm just
So-
saying, it's.
Okay, hang on. So if we have someone that comes in multiple times, not one person, but cases come in, I don't want to be a judge, but cases come in
Correct.
that want higher buildings, should we change the law? Should we change the ordinance?
Depends on, it depends.
How many times have we ever had a height variance?
Since I've been here, quite a bit.
Okay, have we changed the ordinance?
No, but I.
But times have changed, right?
Mhm.
So in this circumstance, times have changed from when that ordinance was adopted to now. Does this not meet your approval for change? Is this so against everything that you believe in right here? Just this case, not the next door neighbors, not whoever owns next door? Because it-
I just believe, I just have it, I have my belief that if we start just letting them go, it's gonna keep coming in front of us, keep coming in front of us, coming in front of us.
Okay, so.
And then eventually, it's gonna be, well, everybody else on that channel has it, why can't we? Type thing. And then we look at all the other ones down the road, and they all have it too, so then we just approve it. That's what's happening on Anchor Bay, or Colony, I mean.
But the statute allows property owners to go to the ZBA. to
I
get a variance.
do understand that.
You can't say you can't come here to get a variance.
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, that, once you get the permit, you have a vested right in it to build it according to the permit, and that's what occurred.
Correct. Or if we deny, then they would, have a case study to go against us, as a township. And the township, I don't know how, or what the legal stuff, not even gonna forecast that. So you would deny this?
If
So you're gonna make
it came in front of me,
Then make a
without them
motion,
even
then make a
built-
motion right now.
I don't want to
that
make
you're
that
gonna-
motion.
Well, here's the thing that's different. Here's the thing that's different, is that now we have case law, and that, because this is definitely different than if this was just coming before us. Different, I would say, kind of contrary to what the attorney talked to you about today.
Mhm.
So, I mean, obviously, if this just came before me today, I would have different feelings about it. But because there's already case law, which, is it?
Gary.
Gary.
Attorney Gary.
Yeah. Gary said that they've already have statutes and people have already, who were given the permit and it was approved, the owner has the right to complete it. So that, I think it's a little different than just
A brand
a
new.
brand-new case in front of us. So it's hard, we can't not separate them, I think. So that's how I'm feeling about it.
So,
So that's why I'm thinking, a little differently than if they were just in front of me for the first time, is what I'm saying,
okay,
right?
how do you feel?
Do you want my straight answer?
Yes,
I'm saying yes to approve it at the
the way it
6-5.
is. Okay, would you put that in a motion?
Yeah,
Now, hang on. So there's a lot of things that we got to do with this
that's
motion.
what I wanted to
Okay.
write it out.
Hang on, hold that thought. Would you put yours in a motion? I can make a motion, but I always choose not to make a motion,
Right.
right? I want you guys to make a motion, and I'm
But I
typically
feel
a
like you're the most
tiebreaker.
passionate about it.
I kind of am. I grew up on the water. I've seen a lot. I've been on the ZBA
A long time.
a long time. I know the boathouse that they, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And that was very controversial at the time, but,
Right.
and I've seen boathouses go up now, full boathouses, unrepaired.
Brand-new boathouses in Clay and Harson's Island,
Mm-hmm,
besides being on Colony.
mm-hmm. I've also personally been denied a boathouse to build over on Harson's Island. And we did build it with just open walls.
Right, because that's the ordinance.
But hang on, I mean, if you want to go there, it's the ordinance, right? But what my client got to look at is Chartier's boathouse,
Well,
okay? And if we call that a boathouse, then here we go. So where do we stop, right? Chartier's got a beautiful boathouse, beautiful. But there's multiple big, beautiful boathouses. But my client's view through his walls is Chartier's boathouse, and that's it. And we were denied. At the time to put full walls, you know what I mean? Currently now, I don't know. We didn't fight it. He just wanted to cover his pontoon boat. But what I'm saying, every circumstance is a little different.
right.
And hence, maybe that's why our height variance hasn't changed. Maybe that's why we haven't updated to what everybody is currently doing at this point.
And that's where I was gonna say, like you said, time's changing, we're not driving 17
Wow.
foot.
When I went to my classes in the planning, which was our old planner, he said if 3 cases come in front of us for the same case, then we need to go to the planning commission and change that ordinance.
Yeah.
Or at least look at it, right?
And water levels too, that's up and
Well,
down.
I mean, what I'm saying is we're always, you'll see,
Yeah,
our height is always being challenged right
right,
now.
right.
Again, I don't drive a car. My garage cannot be with a 7-foot door. Yes, there are ways to do it. Gary and I can go back and forth, building for building. But in the same token, some of our ordinances might be archaic, that need to be adopted and changed.
Yeah, I will not be okay with that, by the way. I would
To
be
raise the height of things?
No, just to do like boathouses everywhere.
I'm not saying boathouses.
Yeah.
This is just height. That height is the same as the height of a garage, a detached garage. Wait till someone wants a
We're not
boathouse down your
discussing the
street.
height, we already passed that.
Right, what
I
I'm
was
saying.
just
I
thinking that,
guess.
I'm like, what?
What?
Well, what I'm saying is that ordinance is every other case, we'll have 2 next week or next month that'll be, no, we don't, we have nothing next month. In December, that will be to do with a height. You watch. Do we not, Gary, have a couple come in?
No, we always have height in front of us. There's a reason why we sit here. We didn't
Right.
have like the same things come in front of us. I understand.
All right, so would you be, are you for or against the way this is
Well, the
built
way
right
this
now?
is playing out because of the statutes and the case law, I guess I would approve it.
So-
Only because of that. I wouldn't have approved it otherwise.
Are you going to put in a motion?
Um,
Didn't we already have one
Nope.
almost going to?
Did you, I mean, you want all of them, we don't have to go through every line item.
Not necessarily, because there's going to be different opinions
Well, I
on.
would think that it is, their practical
Well, I-
difficulty is pretty obvious. They built it according to the plans of the builder.
Well, that's what I was getting at. He didn't have an opportunity to come up with different,
Ideas,
different
right.
practical difficult,
Exactly.
different, So that's the only thing where if we were against it, then I would say something different.
Right,
I
that's-
want you to back it with stuff. I still want you to back everything that you're going to make a motion. If you are going to make a motion, I want you to, read it, the case law, I want you to, it's written in the paper that we read. It's just numbers. I just want you to be thorough with it. That's what
You want
I'm
me
saying, for or against. I'm asking you, are you going to make a
No,
motion?
I thought you were.
Nope, then I'll turn over to Monica. Now, would you make a motion? Because she was going to make a motion. That's why I was hoping that you said it.
Yeah, I'm so torn on it, but understand where they're at, what's happened with them, and I feel bad, honestly. And honestly, if we would have said, no, you gotta have 3-foot walls, I have a feeling they would have built 3-foot walls. I really do. I feel like that it wouldn't have been any
But it-
big deal, but now here we are, it's already built, and it isn't as easy as just cutting back
It's
3
not.
foot.
No,
And that-
It is
and
far
now I
from
would
that,
say,
and most people think that it can until you really look at the
It
structure
can't.
of it. You cannot.
Cannot.
And that's why, when Mr. Coletti was up here, he was like, oh, just cut it, it's just so easy. I'm like, no, you can't. And when he came up to see it, he could see that it wasn't the case, so, yeah.
But in the same, is he supposed to cut it down for free?
No, definitely not, no, and I already know
Then
that.
who-
I already
who-
know,
Who would pay for that?
probably the
Is it
township.
The client?
The
or
insurance?
Insurance company,
So who pays for the
Yes,
insurance?
it would be.
Clay Township. That's what I'm, you know.
So I guess I was asking Gary questions from before to make my decision that I would approve it in this case, to justify that I didn't really want any of my tax dollars to go to repair this. Not saying it would. Not saying it, I have no idea if it would. But in the same token, I don't want to pay for it, to remove this.
Well, and I also don't want to pay for any other,
I'm sure this mistake will never happen again, and that he's not getting granted any special privileges because of a mistake. That's what I want to make sure, that we're not approving him because it's just a mistake on it. He was issued a building permit, I get it.
no, it's not just because of the mistake, and I'm not like
Okay.
helping Gary or anything
Right,
like that.
well, that's what I was getting at,
This is
you know.
regarding some of the things that the attorney has brought up that, you know, is,
It's
it's
believe it.
unfortunate, and I feel like, you know, let's just let it be. I mean, and I could say that if it comes before me again, I'm not approving it, so.
Okay. So make a motion. You're good at it.
You didn't like mine?
Yeah,
On our only piece of paper.
yeah.
So say what you have written down, and then Monica can add, and then we can say yes or no. By the way, it takes three of us, okay, to say yes or no.
I'm going to make a motion to approve JZBA 2025-013, isn't that it?
Yep,
Yeah.
on three, yep.
Applicant at 1870 South Channel Drive, per the ordinance regarding ordinance 126, section 3-01, 8A, regarding the sidewalls from 3 feet to 6 feet from the top plate. Motion to approve it because regarding the permits were approved by the building inspector, and the owner has the right to complete it according to the statute and case law. And it's 95% complete.
On his property lines?
It's within his property lines.
Within his
Yeah, within his
property
property
lines.
lines.
There's nothing to do with that. Don't add to my email
All right, write that down. I know we have it on recording.
now. Okay.
So we have a motion to approve the variance of the additional 3 foot on the sidewalls,
Right.
okay? We need a second.
I second it.
All right, so we have a motion to approve and a second. To approve the 3 foot sidewalls, additional 3 foot, so 6 foot total,
6 foot total.
correct. Roll call, please.
Margie Ferris, yes. Carla's not here. Joe is not here. Sherry?
No.
Brian?
I'm last.
Oh, Monica?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, yep, finish what you want.
Okay.
I'm
Very
gonna sign
cool.
that one.
Freezing. ZBA.
Can I have those minutes?
Yeah. I can tell you here. Oh, we're done. Are you
Sorry, you guys. We are done. She's writing it down.
Yeah.
There's no more, cases in front of, I'm totally sorry. I was
Yeah.
waiting for you. I wanted to sign that,
Okay.
before we left. But you guys are free to go. Brett, just continue with Gary on what you got going on. Hopefully, everything turns out for you guys. Gary, the neighbor, no disrespect by no means, but in the same token, he was a part of my decision on that one too, so.
Thank you.
Can I ask Jeff?
Yeah.
What kind of boat do you have?
It's a Scout.
Thank you. I was just curious.
Yeah, let's just put the case law that you quoted.
This one, natural versus city of Hamtramck.
Then it goes to all of them.
Highlighted.
Right.
The underlined.
Oh, it's Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. City Door versus City of Ecorse, 2008, under Michigan law, it's well established that possession of a valid building permit coupled with substantial compliance thereon, including active construction. No, construction, hold on a second.
Oh, you want to ask him? Was it the door versus equals? Or was it the first one?
Yeah, it was.
This one? City of Hamtramck?
Yeah.
This is it, right?
The Hamtramck,
Yep.
okay.
Case
Yeah.
number.
So I'm going to say Natural and Company versus City of Hamtramck.
And I would put the case number too.
Yeah, right here. This is the case number.
Just put case number.
It's got 4 motors, so instead of all the loops of cable, you have one loop cable, so maintain.
21 dash CB.
CV-12451.
Case law.
If you wanna put case law, United States District Court for the Eastern District Court of Michigan, that's like really specific, but I don't know if you wanna do all that.
You just have to look up this
Yeah,
number.
cases regarding.
Yeah, but sometimes that might pull up more too.
And then it was taken back, so. Do you want me to write it out again? Reason for decision? Or no? Okay. Case law, that's it. All right.
Oh,
She put no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Make sure
She
you
does
circle no.
She did?
No.
No.
No, I'm just making sure. And Sherry, and you guys, this is why I always want a full board. Obviously, a minimum of 4.